And we live through Twitter also, right?
Yeah, we live on Twitter. Yo, this is your boy Bronze, and you are listening and watching Niners All Day Show. I got my boy Dre.
Yes, sir. What's going on, bro?
I'm chilling, man. We're just watching this highlight right here. We'll
Oh
probably put a
yeah.
pause.
I wonder why our live is not showing up on Twitter. Oh, there
Probably
it is.
got
There it is. There it is.
we
My
in
bad.
there.
I'm
Oh, that's
tripping.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we got to give it a second.
Yeah. No, we on. All right,
All
bro.
right.
Let's go. So today, we have a special guest.
Yes, yes.
A lot of the Niner fans know who he is. Um, Me and Grant used to go back and forth. Mainly, I would go at Grant. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't understand some of his content and the way he formulated his talking points. And we came to an understanding because you're not a professional writer and work for Sacramento Bee and get on with Sports Illustrated if you're not good at your craft. I'm not a fucking professional writer, right? Like Grant is the professional. He knows what the hell he's doing. And I wanted to bring him on here, you know what I'm saying? So we could have, just a conversation about the 49ers, man. And, so the fans have an understanding that when he says something, it's evidence behind what he's saying. And it's not just him bashing players. Like he has a reason for what he's saying, man. So
Right.
with
Yeah,
that being said,
yeah. So like we're gonna cover some good juicy stuff. Kittle's contract.
yeah.
Yeah, and so we're gonna get a little bit know more about Grant. So we're gonna bring him in, man. Grant, what's up?
What's going on, man? Thanks so much for having me. We have gone back and forth on Twitter, but that's sort of the nature of Twitter. I feel like we've also had conversations on Periscope, and we have a good exchange of ideas. So I'm looking forward to it today, man.
Most definitely, man. We appreciate you coming on, man. This is only our Bronze? What is it?
Third.
Our third episode. So
Yes, sir.
it's really cool that we were able to get you on here, bro. Somebody
Yeah.
who's been doing this shit for years and who's actually a pro at this stuff. We really appreciate that, bro. So we're gonna go over a few subjects, man, and we're just gonna ask Grant a few questions for all of the fans out there, man. And the first question is, Grant, like, can you explain, like, how do you formulate your content and your talking points?
Man, that's a real good question, and that's not an easy answer. I mean, part of it is reading other writers, reading people like you, reading fans, reading Twitter. What I like to do is I like to tweet stuff before I write it, just to kind of throw it out there, float it out there, and see what the response is going to be. I think you probably noticed I'll do that. I'll kind of like test the narrative, but I won't necessarily back it. I just kind of want to see how people react. A lot of times I like to just start a conversation on Twitter, but other times I'll talk to coaches, former coaches, agents, former agents, and really find out what's going on. I mean, you don't cover a team like the 49ers for 10 years without meeting some people. And so a lot of the time, when I started talking about George Kittle and his contract like a month and a half ago, it wasn't just because I woke up one morning and thought, hey, what's going on there? It's because I talked to people, and someone I talked to in the league was like, hey, you saw what they did with Buckner, right? Don't think they won't do that with Kittle. And don't think that Kittle hasn't gotten the message already. I'm not saying they're going to trade Kittle, but it's not that simple. So that's why I started talking about it a month and a half ago. I didn't say sources say, because that's whack. Just say it like it's your opinion. Although I'm telling you that I occasionally hear things from sources and float it out there sort of as my own opinion, and just to make myself seem smarter than I really am. I've been doing that since I was like 25.
Right. And see, that's one of the things, that's one of the reasons why we wanted to ask you that question. So fans, Grant is not just saying shit out of his ass. Like, he has ties to the game, deep ties, 10 years worth of ties to, he said, coaches, agents, and players. So it's not that he's just spurting shit out of his mouth, man. I really appreciate that, bro. Bronze, you got anything on that?
Yeah, it was crazy because there's some. Sometimes I would see your tweet. I don't know, like, man, is that a hot take, or man, that's some controversial tweet right there? Like, dang. So, but yeah, no, this is good to understand.
Twitter, though, right?
Right. Yes. Getting that engagement going. Yeah, definitely, man. Ruffle some feathers and stuff.
Twitter's a crazy place, man. I don't know. You're supposed to talk and act a certain way on that app.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, bro. So we got that covered. So the second question is, How does your content affect your ability to coexist with the locker room and the coaching staff?
That's another great question. I feel like most people would think that, like, okay, so you're critical of a player or a coach, so that means you can't have a relationship with him. So how can you do your job if you just shoot at the hip, say Dante Pettis is no good, this player has problems? How can you then go up to him in the locker room and do what you're paid to do?
Man, that's
tough, right? That's the question, right?
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, like, what's the other way to kiss up to players and never criticize them? From my experience, players don't respect that. They don't. Players are athletes. They're alpha males. They respect head-on, direct competition. They don't respect like kissing up to you. So if you're real direct and be like, yo, it's not personal. I just think that you're a disappointment as a wide receiver. Prove me wrong. Good athletes Good athletes say, thanks for saying that. I'm going to prove you wrong. And you're going to be the motivation I needed. I mean, so many athletes do that.
Just recently when you said about Jerick McKinnon, like, he was, I love that. Come on.
Thank you. And I'm sure he's using that every day to fuel himself. And if he succeeds, that'll be another example of why he was built to succeed. But the thing about it is, like, I think a lot of people, like, for example, me and you, Dre, like, we've gotten to like conflicts, right? But we're cool. We're cool. Like, a lot of times in life, conflict leads to not a friendship, but an understanding.
Right.
Or a friendship. I mean, I'm not friends with the athletes, but conflict is a very intimate thing. And you get angry and you get emotional and it brings you closer to someone. Right. So what I learned ever since I had conflict with Anthony Davis back when I was 23 years old.
You had conflict with AD?
Oh, yeah. You don't remember that?
I don't know.
That's before your time,
that, bro.
Man, I wrote during a mini camp that he squealed because he used to have a high voice. It was like a Tyson thing. He got mad, dude. For like 4 days, he just went on and on Twitter with the hashtag Stop Cohn that was trending all weekend. Like all Niner fans were like, yeah, pull his credentials. So I went back and like a real snarky thing. I made like the Anthony Davis writing contest. It was like, Anthony Davis didn't like my choice of words, so you fix it. What would you put in? And so, it was tense between us for a while. And then after a while, he pulled me aside in the locker room. Like 6 months later, it was like, have you ever seen the Mike Tyson documentary? I was like, yeah, that was on TV the other night. He's like, right, I was watching that. You wouldn't have said the stuff that you said to me. You wouldn't have said that to Tyson. And I said, I don't know, man. I might have. I'm kind of crazy. And he's from Jersey. He's from Jersey. He's like, man, that's why I like you, man, because you're crazy. And we always got along after that. So I feel like, Dante Pettis might hate me now, but in 6 months, we might get along real well.
Right.
And like, we have like a shared experience that's kind of interesting, and the story isn't over. So that's my experience. That's usually how I get to know players, is through conflict first.
Yeah, man. And Dante, man, he okay.
I'm not his problem. I'm not his problem.
No, bro.
You know it.
Straight up.
No, and this is one thing that we've always agreed about. This was about, I would say, about 5 weeks ago. Do you remember when he posted about chocolate chip cookies and making pastries?
No.
Bro,
I'm not surprised.
So underneath that post, I was like, Dante, are you training? And he blocked me.
We just asked him a question.
Bro. Bronze, doesn't he have you blocked, bro?
I think so.
That's the only thing. But okay,
he's real sensitive. He can take zero criticism. It's like, dude, you're in the NFL, man. This is the life you wanted.
Exactly.
Right? Millions. I know you really liked it at Washington, and you didn't get criticized that much, and you were the big man on campus. And probably everyone loved you.
Yeah.
But this is the NFL, man. Everyone's not going to love you if you don't produce.
Right.
You're just going to be the guy that isn't that good, that people are disappointed with, and you're going to have to work it out. Sorry. I mean, criticism comes with it. If you don't like it, stop. And the thing about him is, I'm not sure he likes it. Are you sure he likes it? I'm not sure. I don't know. That's the question with him. Like, do you want to be an NFL player? Because we saw that you could be a good one. We saw it his rookie year. I mean,
yes,
he did those things.
Right.
But he also came into camp last year in terrible shape. Jimmy Garoppolo seems to have no trust in him, and I'm not sure. I mean, he's only on the team because Kyle Shanahan vouches for him. That's the only reason he's still around. And that's pretty powerful considering Kyle Shanahan's the man in the organization, but he's got one guy who believes in him in that organization. One.
That's crazy. That is crazy. So, and it's crazy that we left off on that point, because my next question is, does Dante Pettis make this team, and why?
That's a great question. That's a great question. And I was talking to an agent in the league recently, and he said he thinks no. But I still look. I still think yes. I know
Yes.
Kyle Shanahan, and Kyle Shanahan does not admit mistakes unless he absolutely has to. With Joe Williams, he had to. I mean, Joe Williams did not want to play football. From what I heard, was
he
like
took
basically
off a year in college, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
He came back.
He had emotional issues. His sister, he had a real troubled past with like post-traumatic stress disorder. He did not want to play. It was clear. It wasn't a decision of Shanahan. They just had to cut him.
They just had to cut him.
Dante Pettis is different. He's not like depressed. Does he want it as much as Debo? I don't know. So I think the way it's going to go down is Shanahan's going to find a way to give him one more chance, I think. Because cutting him would be a big step for Shanahan. It would be the right move. Because I think, guys, like if he cuts Richie James and keeps Dante Pettis, to me, that would be a travesty. It would be a travesty. At the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if it happens because Shanahan traded up for Dante Pettis. Didn't just pick him, traded up for him. And like, you see how Shanahan is. Like, he will start Tevin Coleman week 1 next year, despite everything Raheem Mostert's done, just because he likes Tevin Coleman. So I'm betting on Pettis being on the team.
Damn, that's crazy, bro. And it's like, to me, it's kind of like, okay, when you look at Richie, he had 6 receptions for 165 yards.
Yeah.
He had 27.5 yards of reception.
Yep.
And this guy does not get on the field. And
I know.
Pettis on the team. And then you got guys that are going to be hungry, like Jawan Jennings and Chris Fink from Notre Dame. Like, those are guys who, like, really want to make an NFL. So it's just like, I don't know. It's kind of like, I know Dante has the talent, but does he deserve to make it over a guy who's going to be dedicated just to football and not photography and pastries and, you know?
Yep. He better not make it over Richie James. That's all I'm saying. Travis Benjamin, he's 30 years old. It doesn't really matter. He's kind of like the Jordan Matthews of the team. They could cut him and probably bring him back.
But Jordan,
that's what I said last week.
With bricks on his feet, though.
Yeah, he really
Travis
was.
can fly.
He can. That's true. And
but he's already 30 years old. I mean, you know, the 4-3. I mean, is it still 4-3? You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
I think the interesting thing is going to be between Dante Pettis and Kendrick Bourne. I mean, Kendrick Bourne stepped up last year. Kendrick Bourne is better than Dante Pettis. But Kendrick Bourne's an undrafted free agent. He's like the Matt Breida of the wide receiver room. And you know Kyle Shanahan never really gave Matt Breida his due, right? And then he got rid of him.
And Kendrick, but the thing is, Kendrick works consistently.
No doubt.
And he shows it.
No doubt. But Kendrick Bourne is like the constant reminder that Dante Pettis didn't work out. Like, just like Breida was the constant reminder that Jerick McKinnon didn't work out. He was the backup plan. His mere presence on the field reminded everyone that McKinnon wasn't there. And same with Bourne and Pettis. So the thing with Bourne is he's got like $3.3 million he's making this year. There's no way he's going to get that much. There's no way. That's too much. He's making double what Debo's making. He's either going to have to take a pay cut or they're going to trade him or cut him. Because I don't think they want the pecking order to be like that. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, Bronze, what do you think? Do you think that Kendrick has earned that 3.2 tender? Because I feel like he has.
I do. I feel that.
I think he has too. But try to think about it from Kyle Shanahan's perspective, and his perspective is a little unique.
Yeah.
Because look, the way he thinks is he has created every player on this team. Kendrick's good because of Kyle.
And can you argue with, like, can we?
I'm just saying, but we agree that's how Kyle thinks.
Right.
I
can't argue with him on that.
And Dante Pettis isn't good because he hasn't had the right opportunities. Same with CJ Beathard. I mean, Shanahan will never admit that CJ Beathard isn't good. It's just he hasn't had the right opportunities. Give him another chance. I mean, that's just the way he thinks. And that's the same way with Tevin Coleman. Tevin Coleman had like 150 carries last year, averaged 4 yards a carry, and Shanahan will be like, well, you know, he just had some bad luck. Like, what? But that's the way he thinks. And he's going to stick to that.
Yeah, he's pretty stubborn about that.
Yeah, but the thing about Tevin Coleman is, if you look at all of our backs, he was that guy that would constantly get like a 2 or 3 yard gain and get clobbered, and then Moser or Breida come in and just bust a 15, 20 yard gain. So he was setting those guys up. I don't think that Moser could run in between the tackles like Coleman because he'd be out within two or three games.
That's fair.
Tevin
never
Coleman
done it in his life.
Yep. Yeah. Okay, bro. So we going good, man. Okay. This question is, and fans, do not flip out, but you guys have to realize it is a possibility that if George Kittle asks for more than $13 or to $15 million a year, he's going to get traded. They're not going to pay George Kittle $16, $17, $18 million a year. So you guys have to realize that we have to start being realistic, bro. It's about the 49ers. It's not about George Kittle. I love George Kittle. I think we all do.
Grant, do you agree with that?
that they could trade him if he wants that much money.
Well, yeah, that 15, 16,
let's
is
put
that
it this
too
way.
much?
Well, let's just put it this way. DeForest Buckner clearly wouldn't give the Niners a break. His attitude was like, I'm worth it. I'm one of the best players in the league. Players like me don't give discounts. If you want a blue chip player, you pay blue chip price. Not only that, I was here in 2016 when you guys were like 2-14, and I played 1,000 snaps, and I was balling, and I never missed a game, and I was like, you'd owe me, and that was his attitude. And the Niners were like, sorry, dude, like, sorry, peace.
We're gonna pay this guy who could play 3 technique in the edge.
Yeah, sorry, dude. Like we just don't do business like that, you know.
Right,
like
right.
like that's how like the San Francisco Giants do. Like they're a little more sentimental. They'll pay people on past performance. The Niners are more like the A's. They're like, dude, we'll trade anyone.
Anybody.
Sorry,
Right.
anybody.
No one's safe.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you think? What do you think if we can't work out a contract with Kittle? What do you think is a good trade package for him?
Well,
I would say 2 first off the bat.
That's what I thought with Buckner. I was still surprised they only got 1 first for Buckner. I thought surely you could have got 2. So yeah, 2 for Kittle. Because think about it, if you give him the franchise tag in 2021, which is only $10.6 million, which is nothing for Kittle.
Right.
Someone could match that or give him a way better offer. He's still free to negotiate. Right. And then if he signs another team, the Niners get 2 first-round picks. So it seems like it's got to be 2 firsts.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Kittle right here.
And the way I look at it is like how they can structure it. Like the Ravens just did this with Matt Judon. He's a defensive end / outside linebacker. They wanted to franchise tag him as a linebacker. He wanted to be a defensive end. So they split the difference and averaged out the middle, gave him the middle. That seems like probably like what the Niners could do is like, look, you want to be paid as a wide receiver. We want to pay you as a tight end. The middle is about $15 million a year, $14 million a year. We'll give you $14.5 million a year, basically 5 years, 75. How's that sound? Right. I think that the Niners should be able to go there. Right. And if Kittle says, no, sorry, I want to be like Buckner. I want to make what I deserve, which is, 5 years, $100 million. Yeah, I think they'll trade him. But I think Kittle is more likely to give the Niners some type of a break than Buckner is. And I don't know why I get that feeling. I just do.
Right.
Because he's a football player. He loves the Niners.
Yeah.
Nothing against Buckner, though. Nothing against Buckner. Yeah. It's just that Buckner had played for 2 different coaching staffs. Shanahan inherited him. I never felt like Shanahan really felt that Buckner was part of the family, to use a bad expression. It's just someone that they inherited who was great, but they weren't necessarily wedded to. Like they drafted Kittle, they developed Kittle.
Right.
Kittle probably feels a little bit indebted to Kyle Shanahan. He probably agrees that he wouldn't be quite the player he is right now without Shanahan. So maybe he will. Maybe he will give him a break. Although the agent's job isn't to do that. The agent's job is to get every penny he's worth.
Right. Bronze, how you feeling, bro? Do you think we work out the contract with Kittle? Or
I think we do, man. Hopefully, 14 is the sweet spot. Hopefully, he'll be willing to do that.
Right.
Because
we got to look at it like if you want wide receiver 1 money. I mean, DeAndre Hopkins got 5 years, 63 guaranteed, 36.5. So if we could give Kittle 5 years, 70 guaranteed, 38, you're making 1.5 million more than a wide receiver 1. So you're getting that wide receiver money. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
It just gets tricky because you start looking at the highest paid wide receivers and you go name by name. Like look at Amari Cooper, and you say
20 mil.
Who makes a bigger impact, Amari Cooper or George Kittle?
And that's what I think. That's the deal that messed us up. Bro.
And that's why. So and just think about it. Think about this. What Mike Silver said on Friday is that the Niners are far apart with Kittle. The 2 sides talked in February and haven't talked since. That's not good. That is not good because I'm thinking the Niners didn't approach Kittle with an offer that would be a slap in the face. I'm thinking. Right. I don't know. I'm thinking they approached him with a $13 to $14 million offer. And Kittle said, no. And they haven't talked since. So either Kittle's going to change his mind or things are going to get weird because I think the Niners are probably going to stay pretty close to their number.
Right.
And this is the point that I was making. So if it came down to keeping Kittle or re-signing Trent Williams, K'Wan Williams, Juice, who else is coming up? Fred Warner is going to be coming up. DJ Jones,
Kedrick Bourne.
Kendrick Bourne. I mean, so if you're looking
Emmanuel
at
Mosley,
bro, it's like,
Kello Witherspoon,
are you going to
the entire secondary?
or are you
Yes.
going to spread out that money and keep all of these guys? Because
It's the same principle that they just used with DeForest Buckner. It's like, dude, we really like you, but we'd have to lose Armstead, Jimmy Ward, Ronald Blair.
Yeah.
We don't want to. So it's the same principle.
Yeah, and I made a list of all the guys. So we didn't sign Buckner. We traded him, got that first round pick. Out of that, we spread this money out to Tom Compton, Joe Walker, Kerry Hyder, Travis Benjamin, Sean Coleman, Run School, Mosley, Bourne, Garland, Blair, Trent Williams, because he's on the contract.
Breida for a minute so you could trade him for Colton McKivitz. Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Jeffrey Wilson Jr., Jimmy Ward, and Roster Welly. And that's not including Sal Ahmed,
Nick Mullins.
Nick
Mullins. Yeah.
So, literally, that is a list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 guys, not including undrafted free agents, and all of the draftees this year.
Yep.
So, are you going to take one guy, or are you going to take damn near basically 20 players?
Well, look, it's not what I would do. It's what the Niners would do, and I think we know what they would do because they just did it. That's the thing. They just did it. And so if you're Kittle and you're his agent, the Niners don't need to say a word to you. They said, here, we'll offer you maybe $14 million a year. You laughed in their faces, and then there's been no contact. And then what has happened since then? They flirted with Austin Hooper.
Yep.
They traded DeForest Buckner. They've given you their response in so many ways, in so many words. I mean, they're telling you what they're going to do. So now it's on Kittle. Ball's in his court. Do you want to lower your demands, or do you want to hold out? Then when you hold out, a lot of Niner fans aren't going to like you anymore. It'll be sort of like the heel turn in professional wrestling. Right. All of a sudden, you won't be the fan favorite. You're the
villain.
You're the villain.
You're the villain. I mean, you want to do that?
It's like when Hulk Hogan went from being a Hulkamania to
the
New World
Order.
Or
when The Rock went from being the people's champ to the corporate champ.
Right.
Yep.
Man,
Maybe
so,
he'll do it. Maybe he'll do
man.
it. Maybe there's an evil Kittle that'll be even better.
Man, I don't hope not. So, what would be the scenario if Kittle goes? What would be the scenario? I mean, we got Charlie Warner. I mean, we'll probably get like a super high draft pick for him.
Yeah,
I don't think he's going anywhere this year. I mean, they got him.
Right.
He's under contract. If he wants to hold out for a year, be our guest. Next year, they'd probably trade him for a couple of firsts.
And
but again, I just don't have a feeling. I have a feeling it's not going to come down to that.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Although again, let me just try to put the pieces together. So the Niners haven't really responded to Kittle, and they're sending cryptic messages. Kittle just responded to the Niners 2 days ago when his agent spoke to Mike Silver. That's Kittle's response. Because remember, John Lynch came out a week ago and said they're going to work it out. We're working for that sweet spot, but we want him here. And Kittle and his agent are like, "Oh, word? It's going to be all good." Well, let me tell Mike Silver to tell everyone that we're not even close. That's how that works. So that's now the ball's in the Niners' court.
Man,
right? I mean, that's what just happened. That's why. I mean, Silver even said it. He's like, "I've been talking a lot to Kittle's agent, and this is what he says." Yeah, like they're not actually in contact with each other. They're doing it through other people, which is not a good sign.
Yeah, that's definitely not a good sign, bro.
Not a good sign.
Yeah.
But look, I mean, to me, the Niners should feel privileged to have a player like George Kittle.
You
want to have that. I mean, but you also want to have a guy like DeForest Buckner. They're not only great players, but they're the pillars of your organization. Right? They're your leaders. Yes. Like they're your Joe Staleys. And you need players like that.
Right.
Because as good as Eric Armstead, as well as he played last year, he hasn't shown that he's one of those guys yet. Like Buckner was. He needs to show some more consistency. And Kittle's shown it. I mean, he's played hurt. He's been a stud for a few years. You don't just it's hard to replace guys like that. And I understand you want to keep multiple guys, but at the same time, I think you want to keep your franchise cornerstones as well.
Wow.
And he's one of them, yeah. Definitely.
He is.
Yeah. I hope he can go.
I'll be thinking now.
Hey, there may not even be a season, man. So I mean, I guess the Niners have time to figure it out.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, and then another thing that Kittle has to realize, bro, with there possibly being no fans in the stands, the salary cap is going to take a dive. So like, it's not going to be what they expected it to be. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't know, man. I just come on, Kittle, bro. Like, don't do that to us, man. Like, don't. I understand, but like, don't do that.
Is the Niners going to get hurt if we do agree to like a 16 million? Is that too much?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, it's tough when you're paying Jimmy Garoppolo 27. If the quarterback were like Nick Mullins making 3, like, you know what I'm saying? Something like that. Gardner Minshew, no problem. Yeah. But when you pay your quarterback 27, those are the kind of questions you have to ask. Can you afford a $20 million 3-tech? Can you afford a $17 million tight end? Maybe not. It's tough. So, I mean, in that case, who do you want to keep, Jimmy or George? I don't know. It's tough. I mean, I talk a lot about Jimmy, about how he's overrated and how he's like, you know, basically Kirk Cousins, but he only wins. He only wins somehow. So, I mean, do you really want to get rid of Jimmy? Are you sure? Because you did a lot of losing without him. So it's a tough one.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you think that Dwelly could step in for Kittle and be serviceable?
Yeah, absolutely. I love Dwelly. No one's.
Oh
Kittle.
yeah, I forgot. That's your guy, bro.
I love Dwelly. I mean,
Dwelly
no
too.
one is Kittle because Kittle's everything. He's a great route runner. He's great after the catch, and he's a great blocker. Like he's the Hulk.
Exactly.
Dwelly is I mean, he's everything. Dwelly's is he's not fast, and he's not going to run away from people after the catch. But for a guy who runs like a 4.9, he's really hard to cover. Like I seen him in training camp on those one-on-one drills, like Tart couldn't cover him. So he's got this little shaky finesse to his game, and his hands are fantastic. Like he's extremely short-handed. He made that diving catch in Washington in the rain.
Yeah, then we seen him make that one where he got his foot blew off and he still hold on to the ball.
If you look at his background, he caught a ton of passes in college. He was like the number one target in his offense for years. Unlike Kittle, who was like underused. So he has experience. He has great hands. He gets open. He's a good player. He reminds me of Cameron Brate. I don't know how much you know Cameron Brate down in Tampa, but that's a solid tight end. Right. That's what I see.
Dwelly.
And the reason he didn't get drafted, he's like 6'5", 235, like borderline wide receiver. And they're like, well, he's never going to be able to block. You saw him last year. Like he actually improved. He gives a great effort. He's not who you want as your starting wide tight end, but that's why they drafted Charlie Werner, who's that type of blocking guy. And I think what Shanahan would say is if you give me a platoon of Werner and Dwelly, plus all the wide receivers he's collected, plus Jerick McKinnon, if he ever plays, those are a lot of receivers that could, that's a lot of wide receivers. Maybe they could use as a committee a replacement for Kittle.
Right. Charlie Warner, what do you think about him? Do you think he might be, I don't want to say the next Kittle, but just looking in through some articles, his high school coach told him, hey, it was a grain of salt, but he could be a Gronk.
Then why didn't you use him like Gronk? Why are you throwing the ball?
Hey,
this high school.
High school.
Coach,
Okay.
Yeah, in high school he played running back, fullback, linebacker, free safety, and wide receiver.
Wow.
And,
so that's interesting.
And he holds records in track and field.
Yeah.
So
he still holds it.
He could also replace Kyle Juszczyk in a year if they don't keep Juszczyk.
Yeah.
Because he's another free agent, so maybe he could do that. But it seems he's not going to be George Kittle. You don't just make another.
You don't make another one of those.
And if you go back and look at Kittle, like he was a supreme athlete. It wasn't like Shanahan just created him. I mean, he gets him open, but he's a great athlete.
Right.
I think just the idea with Werner is, I mean, he went to Georgia, which was like the best running offense. Yeah, it's like the best running offense in college football every year, and he was their Kittle in terms of a tight end blocker in the run game.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, Grant, man, we really appreciate you, bro.
Yes, sir.
This was fun.
Yeah, bro. This was definitely fun.
We do this again.
Anytime, absolutely,
bro. I appreciate you being open and willing to join, bro, because you just could have been like, Dre, all right, I unblocked you from Twitter. Be happy with that. You've been be happy that you're allowed to follow me. But I really appreciate you coming in, bro.
I appreciate you having me. This was a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, thanks, Grant, man. I'll definitely be in contact, bro. And if we ever have any more questions, bro, I'll just contact you. And if you have the time, man, you invited on anytime because we're trying to build a platform, bro. And I think having people on here like you who know football and know the 49ers is something good for the people, bro.
I appreciate it. And I've gotten so much crap over the years for being like a nepotism person because my dad was in the business. I like to help as many up and coming journalists as possible because I did get a head start. So if I can help other people, I like to. I'm always you're always welcome to invite me on. I'll always come on, man. Anytime.
I appreciate it, Grant. We appreciate you, bro. No doubt.
Yep. Appreciate you too, man.
All right, bro.
All right, Grant.
All right, take care.
Yes, sir. Yeah, bro. That was awesome, bro.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Unshare the screen, bro.
Okay.
Let's go. That was awesome, bro.
Yeah.
And I like how when we was talking about Kittle, bro, you brought up, his highlight tapes, bro. I appreciate bro. I think we did a damn good job today. So let's just go over some facts about Kittle. So over the past 3 years, Kittle has 2,945 yards, which is the most in the NFL receiving. He has 1,495 yards after the catch, which is the most in the NFL. On 101 catches, he has 3 yards of separation, which is second in the NFL, only to Travis Kelce. So I mean, if Grant made some good points. Like if you look at what Kyle Shanahan is doing, he's literally preparing for life without George Kittle.
Yeah.
He has a
I mean, the whole team, they're always like 2 steps ahead, right? So
always.
I mean, Kittle pretty much, man. I remember him being drafted. I remember reading articles about him talking about C.J. Beathard. I mean, he's such a, he's a good teammate to have. But yeah, I mean, basically PFF rated him like the best player. He had the highest PFF record, like all
in NFL history.
Yeah,
nobody has had a higher PFF than George Kittle.
Right.
Nobody. So
right.
Like we were saying, bro, if it comes down to George getting a whopping contract or them spreading the money out amongst multiple players that will make the team, it might not be looking too good for Kittle, man. Me and Bronze, we wanted to do this show for 49ers fans so we could start to adjust and have an open mind to letting everybody know that nobody is off limits.
Right.
It's about the 49ers. It's not just about one player. And I think that sometimes even I, fall in love with players and we don't realize that they could be gone at the drop of a hat.
That's true. That's why I don't buy jerseys no more. Only the retired jerseys. I mean the OGs, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, because it's a ever revolving door. The game has changed, with the caps and everything. I mean, so, but yeah, I mean, I hope we keep Kittle. Yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I have faith we have him, but
I think we'll get it done. You know what I'm saying? Bro, how about this, bro? Let's share screen and go to the top the highest earning tight ends, and then make another tab with the highest earning wide receivers. And let's just go through and look at both, and let's try to find if we can call it a middle ground to where Kittle can be happy and we could still invest in the rest of the team while keeping Kittle at the same time.
Okay. Well, here we go. Hunter Henry.
Bro, I can't. It's super small. I can't.
Oh shit. Let's see. Let's see if I can zoom.
Boom. There we go. Okay. So what? Go 1 through. Let's say, what is that, like 15? Just go through 1 through 10. Go through 1 through 10, bro.
Okay. What? So is this okay? I'm tripping right now. Okay, so Hunter Henry. Okay, what are we looking at? Where is the full number, fully guaranteed?
So Hunter Henry only got 10.6 because they franchise tagged him. They were having the same problem that we're having right now. He wanted more. They couldn't afford it. They just got finished paying Bosa. And they knew that they was going to have a first-round draft pick quarterback that they were going to have to pay $36 million. And They franchise tagged him, so that is what he has. Like they still have to work out a contract for him in 2021.
Okay. Then we got Austin Hooper.
Right, the guy that we had conversations with,
Right.
and he's at what is that? 42 million,
Yeah.
10.5 a year, a guaranteed 23 million. Kittle's definitely not going to do that. He's not going to do guaranteed 23 million. Then below him, you got Travis Kelce, 46 million. 9.3 a year.
That's all the way. Yeah. How his contract is up until
2022.
Okay.
And then Kyle Rudolph, he has 36 million, guaranteed 16.9 a year, and fully guaranteed 9 million. Wow. Okay. Rob Gronkowski, 54 million, 9
retired and he came back.
Guaranteed 18 million. Fully guaranteed $13 million. He had a $54 million contract, and he only had $13 million fully guaranteed. Like, George, you're going to have to give us some wiggle room, bro. For real. You got to cut the bullshit, bro. Gronk is a monster, and he had a $54 million contract with only $18 million guaranteed and only $13 million fully guaranteed, bro. Gronk, man, Kittle, you got to stop playing, bro. Like, don't get shipped off to NFL Siberia.
You know the thing is he's an awesome receiver, right? But the thing is, I think the dynamic is going to change this year. He's going to still get his catches, but with our new, with our new receivers, is hella deep.
Yeah.
He's probably not going to get as much catches.
No, his targets are going to go down.
Yeah.
And you know what I think, bro? Kyle Shanahan's going to do it on purpose,
just to prove.
He's going to prove a point. He's going to have McKinnon coming out the backfield catching passes.
Yes.
He's going to have Jalen Hurd back. He's 6'5", 230-pound guy. He's going to have Trey back. You're going to have Brandon Ayuk. You're going to have Debo in year 2. Kendrick just got $3.3 billion. He's the highest paid receiver on the team, so he's going to work his ass off. Like, bro, I'm going to prove a point. Kittle, I love you. I hope that you stay a 49er. But you got to give us some wiggle room, bro.
Yeah.
You really do.
I hope it comes down to 14.
So we went over the top 5 tight ends, and we're not even going to go over this from 6 to 10 because those numbers are just out of, like be like 7 million guarantee. Like, no, that's not going to happen. So let's look at the top wide. Oh, he got it all right there. Look at you, bro.
Let's see. I'm trying.
Look at you, bro. So the number 1, Julio. 3 years. He got 3 years, 66 million, 22 a year. 22 a year.
Okay.
Good Lord. Fully guaranteed. All of it. 64 of the 66 is fully guaranteed. Kittle, you ain't getting that.
Wow.
You ain't getting that. Amari Cooper, 100 million.
Man.
20 million a year, 60 guaranteed. 40 guaranteed.
Hell no. You know what I'm saying? That's what you get, Cowboys.
Yeah, Kittle.
That's why like the Niners, man, they ain't no desperate hoes. You know what I'm saying?
Nope. It's not gonna happen. He's not gonna get that.
That's not the motto.
Yeah, it's not.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then we got number 3. We got Michael Thomas. 96 million. 19.2 per year. Basically 61 million guaranteed. 35 fully guaranteed. We got AJ. AJ had the tender. He was 18 million. Fully guaranteed 17 million. He's going to get another contract. Then, well, it wasn't a tender for AJ. He had the franchise tag. Then we got Tyreek Hill, 54 million, 18 a year, 35 total guaranteed, 18 million fully guaranteed. I could see us doing something like that. 54 for 5, guaranteed 35. You know what I'm saying? Odell, 90, 18 a year, 65 fully guaranteed. That's not going to happen for Kittle. Sorry, Mike Evans.
Right now, wait. If we traded for Odell, you think we would have paid this money?
Kittle's ass is gone if we traded for Odell.
Yeah,
Kittle's ass is gone. And they also have a tight end in Njoku, who was a Pro Bowler before he broke his arm this year. And now they got Austin Hooper. He's going to be looking for somewhere to go. You got to look at O.J. Howard. He's going to want out of Tampa Bay because you brought Tom Brady here And then Gronkowski comes out of retirement, and all of a sudden, fucking, I got to sit the bench for somebody who's probably not going to be the same Gronkowski that everybody knows. He's not going to want to be there. So there's going to be some options out there.
Yes.
Mike Evans, 82, 16 a year, 55 guaranteed. You're not getting that, Kittle. Brendan Cooks, 80 million, 16 a year, 50 total guaranteed, 20 fully guaranteed. I'm not going to get. Now, this is where I was talking about.
That's
DeAndre
weird. Yeah.
81 million, 16 a year, 49 guaranteed, 36.5 fully guaranteed. I think if we give Kittle 4 years, 4 years, 50 million, guaranteed 37, you're getting 500,000 or even 38. You're getting 1.5 million more than the wide receiver one in DeAndre Hopkins. The entire contract is a little bit less, but
how much would that be a year? Would it be the same as D-Hop's?
4 years, 50, 4 years, 50. So that's about 13. Well, we already offered that then. So that's not even plausible. So I mean, we're probably gonna have to get Kittle at least 40 million, fully guaranteed. And he's gonna blow the lid off of the NFL when it comes to breaking records for how much money a tight end gets paid.
Right.
Me and my boy Clint, man, we've been going back and forth with this ourselves, and we just wanted to bring you guys some content to talk about the possibilities, what life could be without Kittle.
With Kittle, we'll be all right, but I mean, it'd be nice to have Kittle. I mean, he's a one-man wrecking show,
right?
But we got pieces, that can help, alleviate that,
right?
So just let you guys know. I mean, the whole offense, man, is so interchangeable, right? It's like everyone's versatile,
right? Yeah.
I mean,
yep. And we could have sets where Kyle Juszczyk's. I mean, he already lines up at tight end and slot receiver and all of that,
right?
Dwelly and Charlie Warner coming in. I mean, we just don't know what all of the possibilities are, but we wanted to have content to really prepare the 49er faithful for life possibly without Kittle.
It's
what I'm saying? It's a
possibility. Yeah,
it's like this offseason. Like you couldn't have told me that DeForest Buckner was going to get traded. Like I was one of those guys.
Yeah.
We're going to sign DeForest Buckner and Eric Armstead.
Yes,
I was one of those guys.
Right? Yeah. I mean, and then we were like, oh shit, like when I heard when the John Bob, I was like, man, what the hell? And I started looking at, okay, we got 13 picks. Started doing my research.
Right.
What are possibilities?
Ended up getting Javon Kinlaw, who's a stronger version, a bigger, stronger version of Buckner, and he's cheaper. Yeah. He's a lot
in
the fourth, and he's a lot younger.
Yes.
Than DeForest Buckner.
Right.
Then we got Brandon Ayuk. Okay, and then Trent Williams. Like we're not going to have a lot of sets where. George Kittle is lined up on the side of Trent Williams helping him block. Trent Williams don't need no help.
Right.
He doesn't.
Straight up.
So, hey guys, you got to look at it like if you have a Trent Williams, do you really need a tight end that blocks that much on the left side? No. Like you got a guy who was a starter with Georgia in the SEC for 4 years. Charlie Warner came out of high school and started that tight end, and he was a tight end blocking specialist. If you look at his catches, he's athletic. In the game against Missouri, he caught the ball on like the 40-yard line. He cut to the sideline and he leaped over a dude. If you guys know who Todd Gurley is, you know how Todd Gurley, he high steps over guys. Charlie Warner did that on the sideline and took it for a tug. I think you guys should go look at that film.
Oh man!
So not to say that he's a George Kittle, but he's athletic. He could work after the catch, and his blocking is superb. He was the highest rated blocking tight end in college football for the last 2 years.
Right.
Those are the facts. That's not
my best case scenario. Like if Charlie Warner becomes like a Kittle light, that goes to show the Niners know how, man. Like we know how to pick running backs. We know how to man, and if we know how to pick tight ends, that's like man,
bro.
Game over.
We know how to pick linebackers.
Yes.
Defensive linemen. We know how to pick linebackers, defensive linemen. We know how to pick offensive linemen. we know how to pick running backs, especially the undrafted free agents.
Right.
That's just what we do, bro.
Man, it just okay. We were talking about this earlier, and I did wanted to talk about linebackers this week. We can touch on that. I mean, Dre, you think we have the best running back core?
I think so.
Yes.
We don't have the best running back.
I mean, linebacker. My bad. Linebacker. My bad.
I think we have the best running back core too. But
Yeah.
we have the best linebacker core in the NFL. If you look at top to bottom,
Yes.
I agree. If you look at Fred Warner, he's Quan Alexander. From sideline to sideline, I don't know if there's a linebacker that's faster than Quan Alexander besides for the guy that just got drafted from LSU also that's up there with Tampa Bay. I can't remember his name, but he is a stud. And also coverage. Quan Alexander and Fred Warner are supreme at coverage.
Man.
Now then you look at Dre Greenlaw, also a great cover guy, but I think he's probably top 20 as far as tackling technique and tacklers and linebackers in the league. And he's only been in the league 1 year, and he was a 5th-round draft pick. We just know how to pick those guys.
Right. I mean, I saw his interview, when he made the play in Seattle. I mean, the coaches coached him up. I mean, he progressed. He really got good in the second half of the year. I mean, in players, it takes time. You know what I'm saying? Right. But man, for him to catch on like that, for him to be where he got picked. I mean, he wasn't in the high pick.
Nope.
And we developed them. I'm glad that he caught on, and he's a beast, man. And
right, most definitely. Also, another skill position. Another position that's not a skill position that we are super deep at that nobody realizes is offensive line. We have Trent Taylor. I mean, we have Trent Williams. Lincoln Thompson. We have Rich Berg. We have Brunskill. We have McGlinchey. Then you got to go into the guys like Ben Garland, Justin School, Tom Compton, Sean Coleman. Who was the swing tackle last year, who could play right and left tackle, who would have been on the field if he didn't dislocate his ankle, which is a pretty bad injury. But we had him back. Our offensive line is extremely deep.
I'm feeling good. I mean, remember a couple years back, our O-line
was horrible.
It's we need to grab the free agent. I forget that one guy who was from the Panthers. He was a guard, but he was asking too much money.
Yeah,
I know some of us wanted to get him, but I'm glad we did it.
Yeah, man, I'm definitely glad we did it, man. Yeah, bro. So like we said, man, we went over a lot of info today.
Yeah, shout out to Grant Cohn, man. That was fun.
Man, that was dope, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Like you said, man, it's sometimes when you have conflict with somebody, bro, you're able to work stuff out and you come to an understanding.
Yeah.
I thought that would have been the last person that actually accepted. But
I argued with Grant too a couple times. I forgot what it was. It was a long time ago. He was talking about PFF, don't listen to PFF. He made me think about that. I was like, oh, well, maybe that's true. You can't really. It's not gospel.
Right. It's definitely not. And nobody even knows what their formula is for PFF and how they grade players. So. That's one thing that kind of makes me skeptical of PFF.
PFF, yeah.
But you know what I'm saying, it usually does match up with players' play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it is what it is. But man, this is only our 3rd episode. Man, you guys go ahead and subscribe to us. Niners All Day on YouTube. Follow my boy Bronze on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. Subscribe to our channel, man, and we just gonna keep on bringing you guys content.
Yes, sir.
We have a show coming up on Tuesday. We have another special guest. You guys probably know who he is. His name is JD the Hawk Hater.
Yeah.
JD is one of the first guys that I started watching.
Yes, me too. I've been watching him. I can't even remember when he started.
It's been a while.
His reaction videos, the drafting.
Yeah, bro. It's been a while. So, yeah, man, I'm definitely excited about that, man. So, we just going to keep on pumping this good content out to you guys, bro. And like I said, we'll see you guys Tuesday. Me and Clint haven't necessarily came up with a time, But I think usually on Tuesdays we'll probably do a show around like 7, because Clint bro has a family. He has a young one, so he got to get to work. He got to get home and chill with the family and eat and all that good stuff. So we'll probably do it Fridays, which is 7 o'clock his time, because he's on Eastern time, and then 5 o'clock my
Central.
time. Yeah. So when we figured all of that out, guys, we'll
let you know.
Posting updates on Monday, which is tomorrow. And man, y'all have a good evening and be safe out there.
All right, man. Peace.
Peace.